Hello, 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 hello. It's another video for Thursday, February 7th, I think, 6th. February 6th. I already did one, told y'all how I got kicked out for Uber. So, this is Miss Ronnie with Miss Ronnie Rides. Before we get started, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up. All right, if you when we finish the video, you can do a comment. That's really helpful for you to comment. All right, so before we get started, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Okay, so let me tell y'all about how I caused the pilot to come out of the pool of the cockpit. So I have a fear of flying, really bad. I'm 55, never been on an airplane because I have a fear of flying. So I met this guy, and I was gonna fly up there to South Carolina to see him, and I had booked my plane and booked my hotel room stuff through FunJet. I don't even know if FunJet is still in business, but that's who I booked everything with. And I took my time praying, just prayed all week, and just prayed for two weeks in advance, and just prayed, and just had my friend praying for me, that I would be able to get on the plane and won't be scared, and just I wanted to have that experience and stuff. And I know everybody gonna say, well, you should have took something. Well, I ain't got no doctor, so I ain't know none. I didn't know who to go to say, hey, can you give me something to help me not be scared, to fly. And so I packed up everything and got there, and got my ticket and checked my bag and all that kind of stuff, y'all. And I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I had my music going on my phone and all that. I had my earphones. It's like, okay, I can do this. And somebody, I was sitting, out in the waiting area where you sit right before they you go walk through the little tunnel thing onto the plane, tarmac, I guess, the tarmac. And so I was talking to the people. You know how you just talking to people, and I was telling them that was my first time, and they was asking me where I was going, and I said, well, I have to go to this place first, and then from that place to the place I'm going to. And they was like, yeah, that might be too much for you. Did you have something that you could take? I said, no, like that. They said, well, here, somebody gave me a pill, and I took half of it. I said, well, let me take half of it. So I took half of it. I didn't know how much longer it was gonna be before we got on the plane. So I took half of it, because I didn't want to be, I didn't want to be completely out. I wanted to get the experience of flying on the plane, so I didn't want to take the whole pill and just be, and I didn't know what the pill was going to do to me and how the pill was going to affect me. So I didn't want to take the whole pill and just be completely out of it when I get on the plane and miss the whole experience. So I only took half of it. And so they came, called for everybody to get on the plane and all that kind of stuff. And and I got on the plane, and I could feel the inside of me change. I could feel the inside of me change, like the fear was trying to rise up. So I got in and I sat, and it was one of those small jet planes. It was small. It was too small for somebody who it was going to be their first time flying. It was too small. It was too cramped. It was too packed. They had us packed in there like sardines. That was mistake number one, is that they had us packed in that plane like sardines. And so I got the window seat, and I was sitting there and I was looking at the plane, and I could just feel I felt the fear. I felt the fear coming up inside me, and I just, I started swallowing. You know how you get that lump in your throat? You start swallowing. I started swallowing, and I was like, oh my God. And I started trying to take a deep breath, and I started doing them pregnancy blows. Trying to calm myself down. Now, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you get notification. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up right now before we get into the story real good, because I don't want you to forget. So, I saw everybody just, coming in and putting up their bag and all this here. And I put my little bag up and all that kind of stuff. And, I sat down and I put my seatbelt on, and y'all, I'm not lying. I was like, I think we was on the plane for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I said, oh, let me go take the rest of this pill, before we take off, so that the whole thing be in my system, be kicked in by the time, we, get to moving real good up in the air, the pill be kicked in. So I got up and I went and took the pill, because I felt myself. I felt the anxiety starting to rise. So I said, I'm gonna go take this pill. So sitting on the plane by 10 minutes or so, and I start, and I'm seeing the flight attendants rustling and bustling, and and I'm feeling my temperature rising. I'm feeling my breaths starting to be worse. I looked at that man. Next to me, I said, do you have the little bag, the barf bag like that? He said, oh, well, here you go, like that. I say, he say, you all right? I say, yeah, I'm okay. I said, it's my first time. He said, oh, okay. And then I said, about 5 minutes later, I said, I looked at him, because I started getting a lump in my throat, and I started hyperventilating. And I looked at him. I said, I don't think I'm gonna make it. And he looked at me. He said, you'll be fine. And he patted me on my leg. He said, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I said, I don't think so. He said, no, you'll be fine. Just take a deep breath. And I started trying to take a deep breath, y'all. But I'm telling you, I started breathing real fast. I started sweating profusely. I started sweating. By that time, they started pulling the plane back from the tarmac. I told them, I said, I don't think I'm making. I need to get off. I'm gonna have to get off. Please, ma'am, please, can I get a flight? I was like, is there? And then at first I asked for a Christian. I said, is there a Christian on board? And by that time, the flight attendant had went to the front of the plane, and that video voice thing started playing to tell people what to do in case of emergency. And I looked at him. I said, I have to get off, please, I have to get off, please, I have to get off, please. And I was trying to take my seatbelt off. I was sweating like I had just run a 10K marathon. I was sweating profusely. I had a lump in my throat. I was about to throw up. I was feeling nauseated. I was crying profusely. I was crying so hard, y'all. I was sweating profusely. I was crying. I was bawling. I was like, I couldn't breathe. I was hyperventilating. I had a massive meltdown. I was like, I have to get out, please, I have to get out, please. I was trying to take the seatbelt out, and the people in front of me, I was probably sitting about 4 or 5 rows back, and all the people in front of me was looking back at me like this, like, oh Lord, we got a nutcase on the plane. And so I was like, I gotta get out. And the flight attendant was looking at me, and she was like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And the video thing was going, and the lady was up there doing all this here, and I was like, I have to get off. And when the video said when the video said what to do if you hit water, child. When that thing said that, I really lost. I was, please. I lost it. When I heard that thing say what to do when you hit water, oh Lord, I really lost it then. I wanted out. I was like, please, I have to get out, please. Everybody on the plane was scared, and some of them felt so bad for me. Finally, we pulling off from the tarmac now. We pulling off, y'all. The plane is moving. I'm seeing us wave goodbye to that thing that hooked you up to the plane. Listen, I'm gonna say it was the co-pilot. The co-pilot came out and he was like, what's going on? And everybody was like, she's scared. I said, I'm sure it ain't got nothing to do with your skills. I just have to get off, please. Get off. I need to get off. And I guess he couldn't understand what I was saying, because he was talking to the people on the plane, and he said, so what's going on? They say she's scared. He said, well, is this her first time? And everybody was like, yeah. And I was out of it. I couldn't talk. I was crying. I was about to throw up. I was sweating. I was a mess from head to toe. I was a mess. I said, I'm sure they got nothing to do with your skills. Oh, please. Child, he say, well, let's just go ahead and take her back. So he did. They took me back. He went ahead and I guess he went there and told the pilot what was going on, and the flight attendant came and sat next to me, and held my hand and told me it's gonna be okay, like that. And I don't know, she was like from a different country. She had like a accent like somebody named Helga would have, whatever, Dutch or something. She had an accent, something like that. Listen, I had a meltdown. I have not. That was back in 2009. I have not tried to fly since then. So tell me, how am I going to? I want to move out of America. I want to get out of America, because I know there are a lot of things that's supposed to go down in America, and I want no part of it. I want to get out of America. I want to move to Thailand or either Bali. Tell me how I'm going to do it, y'all. If I can't even get on the plane to go from here to Dallas, or from here to South Carolina, go to from Chicago, from here to Chicago, how am I going to get on the plane going from here to Bali or from here to Thailand? How am I going to do that, y'all? I was so disappointed in myself. So they brought the plane back. Co-pilot told them, we're just going to go and let her take a. So they brought the plane back and let me out, and and I got off and I went in the bathroom, and I was so disappointed in myself, because all that praying I was doing, all that praying in tongues, and Lord, I just can't wait to see your majesty in the heavens. I was, pumping God up like God need to be pumped up. Lord, I can't wait to see the mountains and the skies and all of your beautiful handiwork. Child, please. All that mess went out the window. I wanted off of that plane. You hear me? It was non-negotiable. I wanted off. I didn't care what nobody said. They could have had a all-out church service on that plane, and I would have told them, let me off of this plane. I was so scared, y'all, and I have not tried. Listen, the very thought of me getting on a plane, I start hyperventilating, for real. I was so disappointed. So I got off the plane. They let me out the plane. I went in the bathroom. And I was so disappointed in myself, y'all. I sat in the bathroom. I probably sat in the bathroom on the floor crying for about an hour and a half, about 2 hours. I sat in that bathroom on the floor just crying, because I felt like all of this, all this praise and worship I do, I live a life of praise and worship. I live a life of saying, Lord, I trust you. Lord, I thank you. But I couldn't trust him enough. I didn't trust him enough, or I didn't have enough faith to get on the plane and trust that God would keep the plane in the air and keep me safe. And I still, it's no better today, I don't think. I was so disappointed. I was depressed for about 2 weeks, y'all. That pill did finally kick in. But your adrenaline will override. If something exciting happens to someone, your adrenaline will sometimes override it. Baby, that pill didn't kick in until I got home. My kids were young, and I was living where was I living at? I was living right here. I was living right here in Houston. So I was off for the rest of the week, on vacation. Listen, I got home. That pill did not kick in until I was on my way home. I got home. I forgot how I got home, child. I forgot how I got to the airport. And I took a shower and got in the bed. I must have slept for 2 days. I ain't lying. That pill put me out. Do you hear me? That pill, I must have slept 2 days. But I was so depressed, y'all. I was depressed. I know I was probably depressed for about 2 weeks, because I feel like I let God down. That I let God down. I disappointed God because, I didn't trust to be able to get on the plane and trust him to be able to keep the plane up in the air and get me to where I was going safe and sound. So that really affected, it really affected me. I was extremely disappointed in myself, and I felt like God was disappointed in me and stuff like that. Was, he was just disappointed in me because I didn't trust him. And I'm gonna tell you something. I have been praying, seriously praying for God to deliver me from the fear of flying, because like I said, I want to move out of America. And the only reason I was talking about moving to Costa Rica. The only reason I was talking about moving to Costa Rica is because you can really drive to Costa Rica. It takes about 3 days to get out of Texas and get to Costa Rica. I already looked it up on my phone. It takes like 4 to 8 hours. So it's like 3 days for more than 2 days. Almost like 3 hours. It's like 3 days to get to Costa Rica. The only reason I was talking about moving to Costa Rica is because I knew I could drive, because I'm scared to fly to go to another country. So that's the only reason I was talking about moving to Costa Rica. But when somebody started telling me about the doggone drug cartels at the border and how they might take your car, well, I got a pretty decent car. That they may take your car and they may rob you and all this. I said, oh Lord, I'm just stuck in America. I'm stuck here because I'm scared to drive now. I'm scared to drive because I'm scared that the drug cartel gonna get me at the border. I'm like, Lord, I'm scared to fly. And now look, how many planes in the last 2 weeks? Three planes and a helicopter, or 2 planes and a helicopter in the last 2 weeks, in the last week and a half. Two planes and a helicopter to crash. And then people wonder why I'm scared to fly. That's why I'm scared to fly. And then it didn't help that the night before, this did not help me, y'all, at all. My best friend of 30 years, no doggone well, I'm scared to fly. She calls me and she said, well, I had a dream, and I didn't know if I should tell you, but I was like, well, Lord, if I don't, I don't want to tell this girl, but if I don't tell her and something happened, Lord, I never forgive myself. So let me just call her and tell her I had this dream. She calls me, this is the night before I'm supposed to fly. She calls me and tells me she had a dream that I was on a plane And she was sitting in the airport, where you waiting to get on the plane, and that clothes just start falling out the sky. First clothes still start falling out the sky, and then people started falling out the sky. But she said when the people fell out the sky, they didn't fall like crash to kill themselves. She said they fell out the sky, and then they stood up and they got up and they just walked away. They got up, they was all right. But she said first clothes started falling out the sky, and then people started falling out the sky. But the people got up, and they were all right. Now, how you gonna tell somebody that's deathly afraid of flying? How you gonna tell them that the night before they get on the airplane? You already know they have such a fear of flying. That did not help. That did not help at all. So I was like, oh Lord. So I was already scared, and then she kept telling me this dream. Y'all, I did not make it. I did not make it on that plane. I was like, I have to get off. Please, please, I have to get off. Babe, I had a massive, massive meltdown. Massive meltdown. So, and to still this day, I'm still scared to fly. I'm still scared to fly. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I've got to get out of my fear of flying. Is there something I can do to get out of my fear of flying? Is there some kind of flight simulation thing for people like me who they'll let you get on the thing that it feel like it's like you in an airplane so you can see how it feels? Is there something like that you can get on, that you can get on or go do? Do y'all know anything about that? Put it down in the comments, because I need to know, because I want to get out of America. I want to get out of America, but how am I gonna get out, y'all, if I'm too scared to drive, because all the borders got drug cartel. I'm too scared I'm gonna get raped. I'm too scared I'm gonna get robbed. I'm too scared I'm gonna get hijacked. And then I'm too scared to fly. How am I gonna go, y'all? How am I gonna get out of America? I'm scared. So are you afraid? Are you scared to fly? Have you ever had a meltdown on the plane? If you are, what did you do? And have you overcome your fear of flying? And how did you overcome your fear of flying? Because baby, I'm telling you, the fear is real. It be other people that say, I'm scared to fly too, but I done did it before. Well, you ain't scared then. Because when you have the fear like I have, you won't, no matter what, you won't get on the plane. You can't. So you don't have no fear of flying. If you've flown before, and you'll fly if you have to, because, even though you're scared, then you don't have a fear of flying. A fear of something means, just like agoraphobia. I think agoraphobia is the fear of outside. Those people will not even go to their mailbox. They won't even go to their mailbox. They have such a fear. They stay in the house. They don't even go to their mailbox for fear of being outside. So let me know in the comments, have you ever had an experience where you had a meltdown on the plane? Do you have a fear of flying, to the point to where you had a meltdown, they had to bring the plane back, or anything like that? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe the video. Give me a thumbs up, and let's talk about it in the comments, okay? Thank you so much, and God bless you. I can't do it. I can't. Miss Ronnie Rides, name of the YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up. I can't do it, y'all, to this day. So, I'm praying though. Please pray that God can deliver me from the fear of flying, because there's so many places I want to go. There's so many things I want to do, and in order to do it, in order to go, I have to get over fear of flying. I want to go to New York. I want to go to New York and meet Celestial from the Master's Voice Prophecy blog, the blog I was telling y'all in the last video that I listen to all the time. I want to go and meet her. I just love her so much. I want to go and meet her and just sit down and sup with her. I just love her so much. I want to meet her. I'm scared to fly. I'm gonna have to drive to New York. I'm gonna drive to New York, y'all. to me, Celestia from the Master Voice Prophecy blog, because I'm scared to fly. I'm gonna have to go to I'm gonna have to drive to New York. So let me know what y'all think. Put it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. Tell me about your experience, or maybe you was on the plane and somebody else had a meltdown and had a panic attack and had to, held up the plane. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much.